It was the first day of spring, and the whole village buzzed with excitement. The annual school cycling race was only a week away. The biggest event of the year. Children practiced on their cycles along the narrow village roads, while parents hung colorful flags along the race route. The smell of blooming flowers filled the air, and birds chirped happily in the trees. Among all the riders, there was one boy who dreamed of winning more than anyone else. Tommy. He loved riding his red bicycle more than anything in the world. Every afternoon, after finishing his homework, he would race against the wind down the small lanes of the village, his heart full of hope. But not everyone wanted to see Tommy win. There were 3 older boys, Max and Jake and Billy, known as the bad riders. They always teased Tommy, calling him slow wheels and laughing whenever he practiced. "You'll never win, Tommy," Max sneered one afternoon. "This race is for real riders, not little kids like you." Max snickered, circling around Tommy on his shiny blue bike. "Look at those little legs. They're made for walking, not racing." Tommy's heart sank, but he clenched his fists. He tried to ignore them and focused on practicing every evening, but the teasing only got worse. At school, Max would scribble "slow wheels" on the chalkboard before class. Billy made loud bell noises whenever Tommy walked by. Jake would roll marbles across the hallway floor, trying to trip Tommy when he carried his books. Even during lunch breaks, they didn't leave him alone. One day, they snatched his sandwich. Tommy's cheeks burned, but he refused to cry. Instead, he quietly walked away and sat by himself. His best friend Sam always found him and gave him half of his own sandwich. "Don't listen to them, Tommy," Sam said. "They're just scared you'll beat them one day." The week of the race arrived, and everyone in school was talking about it. The whole town would come to watch. Tommy's best friend Sam helped him polish his bike, while Grandma packed him a lucky peanut butter sandwich. On race day, the sun shone bright, and the crowd gathered at the starting line. Tommy's heart thudded in his chest as he lined up next to the bad riders. Max smirked, spinning his wheels. "Hope you can keep up, slow wheels," he whispered. The whistle blew, and the race began. Tommy pedaled as fast as he could, his legs pumping hard. The road wound through the village, past the bakery, and up the big hill. The bad riders zoomed ahead, laughing as they splashed through puddles and blocked the narrow paths. Halfway through the race, Tommy spotted Max and Billy tossing small stones on the road behind them. They were trying to make other riders slip. But Tommy kept his eyes on the path, swerving carefully. At the top of the hill, Tommy's legs burned, but he didn't give up. He remembered what Grandma always said: "Slow and steady wins the race." He pushed on, feeling the wind push against his face. Suddenly, Jake's tire burst with a loud pop. He wobbled and crashed into a bush. Instead of racing ahead, Tommy stopped his cycle and helped Jake pull his cycle out. "Why did you help me?" Jake asked, surprised. "Because it's the right thing to do," Tommy said simply. With Jake safe, Tommy jumped back on his bicycle. Most of the racers were ahead now, but there was still one big hill left. He gritted his teeth and pedaled harder than ever. When they reached the final stretch, the crowd cheered loudly. Max was in the lead, but Tommy was catching up. With one last burst of energy, Tommy flew past Max, crossing the finish line just in time. The crowd erupted into applause. "The winner is Tommy," the announcer called. Max crossed his arms, scowling, but Jake clapped softly, remembering how Tommy had helped him. That night, Grandma placed the shiny gold medal on Tommy's desk. "I'm proud of you, Tommy," she said, "not just for winning, but for showing kindness along the way." Tommy beamed. He knew that being a true winner wasn't just about crossing the finish line. It was about how you raced along the way. That's all for today, kids. Goodbye.